So, this is the methodology in a nutshell. First, we're going to find all the subdomains. Once we find all the subdomains, we're going to find all the net blocks. After we find and enumerate what net blocks are out there for that particular organization, we're going to go and find all the web servers in those net blocks. And then once we find all the web servers in those net blocks, then we're going to find all the virtually hosted domains. Now, hopefully everybody knows what a virtually hosted domain is. So hosting companies like to, maximize their profits. So in this effort, they figured out this thing called virtually hosted domains. So they can have one server that hosts 20 or 30 or 100 or I've seen up to 1,000 websites hosted on a single server before. So every one of those websites is a possible different web application, which is another possible different attack methodology to be used. So we got to enumerate all those virtually hosted domains. Then after we enumerate all the virtually hosted domains, we have to fingerprint those web applications so we know what's out there and what's running. And then once we know what's running and what's out there, then we can go and find vulnerabilities for those. We can go to ExploitDB or we can go to CVE and just look for vulnerabilities for those specific web applications. So, finding subdomains, right? We can do it using Google. Like I told you, that site colon command, you see up there where the arrow's at, notice all the subdomains. You get that adwords.google.com that comes back. This other one, knoll.google.com. So we're finding other subdomains. And these are all pieces of information that we stick in our little notes file as we're building the information we need together to start to attack. The next tool we would use to enumerate more subdomains is a subdomain brute forcer tool, right? There's a couple of commercial applications that have this capability built into it. My favorite of them all is this application right here. It's called Acunetics. And Acunetics is pretty cool. It's a web application assessment tool. I would rank it up there with the best web application assessment tool that you can use today in the commercial space. So the other thing that we could do is code our own subdomain brute forcer, which is what I did because I don't like to pay for stuff. So, there we go. So here's a screenshot of a tool that I coded that does subdomain brute forcing. So basically, let's look at what this tool does. So at the very, I can't point. I need a pointer. Stinks. At the very top, you'll notice that it says we're going to brute Google.com. We're going to find all the subdomains under Google.com. And we load a word list of possible subdomain names. My word list contained 1,906 words. And then it found 82 different subdomains. Oh, look at that. Huh? There we go. Woohoo! All right, so we found 82 different subdomains underneath Google.com. Right? And it tested them all, and then here's all of them that came back. Look, we got this ads.google, alerts.google, app.google, asia.google, blog.google, calendar. You see all these different subdomains? Now over here, the associated IP addresses with those websites, right? So this goes into the next piece of the methodology, enumerating all the net blocks. So we'll notice that most of these websites are in this 72.14.204 network, right? But then you see this one right here, asia.google. Oh, they're in the 66 range. So there's another network block that's owned by Google. Let's put that in our notes file because that gives us another place to go attack. You look down here, look, I found this 74.125 range. That's another network range, right? All right, cool. So now we got a couple of different net blocks that Google is hosting their websites in. So